Hi, I'm Carl Conrad and welcome to another budget special edition of Australian Immigration News, proudly brought to you by Australian Immigration Law Services here in Sydney. The federal budget released last night covered some new migration plans, but most of them we already knew about as they were discussed at the Jobs and Skills Summit in October. The government confirmed its commitment to international students in Australia to keep allowing them to work full-time until the end of June 2023. But does that really help students, or is it just a self-serving policy to assist us with these skill shortages? There was one major surprise released, and it was one of our top 10 budget wish lists for temporary residents we released last weekend. It was reported that more parent visas will be available, with the government increasing the allocation from last year from 4,500 to 8,500 for this financial year. This is a welcome move and will take some pressure off the delays for the parent visa processing, hopefully back down to the 3 to 4 year time wait it used to be before the pandemic. As announced in the Jobs and Skills Summit, the government will increase the 2022 to 23 permanent migration program planning level from 160,000 to 195,000. This was spruiked to help ease the widespread critical workforce skills and shortages, but in reality it will hardly make up for those who have already left Australia. The Financial Review was quick to write an article to this effect, published just after the budget papers were released to the public. They push home the fact that businesses are crying out for more skilled workers and the current planning levels will not be enough. The budget papers also highlighted what most onshore potential skilled migrants already knew. Priority will be given to offshore applicants and to on-hand applications for the skilled independent visa, the New Zealand stream. However, what doesn't make sense is that the New Zealand stream is for people who are already onshore in Australia. So why can't priority also be given to former international students who have worked very hard to get their points up to scratch? And if that news does not make you depressed enough, the government will spend $1 million in the next financial year to conduct a review of Australia's multicultural policy setting to support efforts to further strengthen social cohesion. Really? Are they kidding? Come on guys, I can do that at a fraction of the price, or instead you can read the comments on my YouTube channel for free. Lots of insights to be gained there. As far as visa processing delays are concerned, the government is spending big to get on top of the backlog and hopefully stay there. The government has allocated an extra $42.2 million to recruit an extra 500 staff. However, as part of that $42 million, $6.2 million will be spent on an international marketing campaign to boost migration to Australia. Is that really necessary? Demand for Australia is going through the roof all on its own. Please spend that money instead on staff for processing the more than 19,887 visa applications still to be granted after years of waiting. For those new migrants looking to improve their English skills, you will have more opportunities to do so, as the government will spend $20 million over the next 4 years to provide a more flexible delivery options for the adult migrant English program. Of course, support to learn English is always money well spent. A new Pacific Engagement Visa for nationals of Pacific Island countries and Timor-Leste will be developed at a cost of $175.1 million over the next 4 years. This will boost permanent migration to Australia by up to 3,000 places per year and will be made available to eligible Pacific nationals in addition to the existing permanent migration program. And on the Pacific theme, the government will provide $67.5 million over the next 4 years to expand and enhance the Pacific Australia Labour Mobility Scheme, known as PALM. Of course, we know the disaster-plagued Morrison government was going to phase out the PALM scheme, but now it's back, bigger than ever. Funding will be provided to improve the benefits of the scheme for potential employers and workers, including underwriting employers' investment upfront travel costs for seasonal workers by covering costs that cannot be recouped from workers, improvements to the workplace standards for PALM visa holders, including increased workplace compliance activities, allowing primary visa holders on long-term placements to bring their partners and children to Australia, with additional social support including providing relevant minimum family assistance payments with an initial rollout of 200 families. The expansion of the existing aged care skills pilot programs for aged care workers. These measures also incorporate the inclusion of key features of the Australian agricultural visa visa into the PALM scheme to grow the size of the program. Now, out of interest, there were two high-demand occupations that featured in the budgets: teachers and community workers. The government will provide $169.4 million over the next 4 years to provide an additional 500 frontline service and community workers across Australia to increase the support available for women and children experience family, domestic and sexual violence. And potential teachers are promised cheaper university fees, but only for local students, to attract them into the profession. So if you're thinking about which course you should choose to study in Australia, these two professions should be at the top of your list. Well, that sums up the excitement of the budget night for another year. I'll hand this footage now over to my video editor, Constantine, who will work through the night to polish it into our usual professional presentation for tomorrow night. Stay tuned for our Sunday night program as well, where there'll be no doubt more reactions to this budget during the week. As always, take care out there and I'll see you next time. So bye for now.